this has been kind of my hypothesis, is that this is a 2017 cycle. And I'm seeing certain things happen that are very interesting, right? Most net inflows are happening mostly to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and that's trickling down. So we've talked about trickle down economics in, obviously, shout out to Reagan, shout out to Reaganomics, right? Shout out to Ronald Reagan. But we've talked about we've talked about trickle down economics in the courses, and we talked about it on these streams and stuff like that. Of that, only place where trickle down economics works like legitimately is crypto, because of liquidity pools and how people speculate, and how if these assets go up a lot, then I will move my money into this stuff because I know more money's coming, and that's how it's working, right? But something that people don't, maybe that weren't in the 2017 cycle, realize, and weren't in around during 2016, 2017, is that basically if you're in the United States and most parts of, like, I would say, like Europe, in the European, out in Europe, UK, and I would even say Australia, that there wasn't that many exchanges open during that time. So during that time, there was really just Coinbase. You had a little bit of Gemini, maybe Kraken, if you even knew about it and stuff like that. Kraken was a much smaller exchange than it is today, but Coinbase was king, and basically on Coinbase there really wasn't that many coins available. I mean, there really was just 4 or 3. I think there was Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. That's it. That's literally it. Then later on, as 2017 rolled along, we finally got USDC. We got a little bit of BNB. We got what else did we get? We got trying to think, what else did we end up getting? I think we got Bitcoin Cash, SV eventually, and a couple other micro cap coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic. So we had a couple of coins come in, but that was pretty much it, right? So basically, what's happening is the ETFs are the new Coinbase, like I've said before, right? So this is an ETF cycle. We're going to end up calling this one, but more or less, it's very, very, very like, it's not an exact carbon copy, but basically it is I would say a history of rhyme scenario where we're basically, right now, all you can buy is Bitcoin at that large level for institutional investors and guys in the 401ks. And over the next 6 months, 8 months, and a year, we're going to have more and more ETFs pass. We are going to have the Ethereum ETF pass. That should happen before the end of this year, right? It could happen as soon as May, but as late as, maybe August, right? We'll have the Ethereum ETF. Now you have these assets where you can get extreme price increases. Bitcoin itself is really only like a 1.5 trillion. Ethereum itself is about half a trillion. So we're talking about these assets that can just significantly increase because there's so little supply on the market. There's so little float. Me, you, and all the other people watching right now, and if you're watching me on X right now, come over here, you guys, or on Twitter, man. Come over here to the YouTube, man. I linked it below, because I will rug Twitter if you don't come over here. But playing with some poker chips, but soothing. But it's not lost on me how much, like, I'm getting sort of like these Vietnam flashbacks and deja vus about the 2017 market in this year. Like, if we're the same, then basically we're in 2020 right now, but really it's like we're in 2016 right now. Very interesting. Very up. It's a very up only sort of cycle. You have consistent just buying. Basically, like, they're just buying. They may stop DCAing for a little bit when the price chills out, because that's how usually retail FOMO works. But then it commences again. They get brave again and they start buying, and the price starts going back up. So I have been pretty public about saying that I believe Sol is probably going to be the next ETF after Ethereum. It might be a suite of ETFs. It might be a couple of certain coins, but I have just this inkling that it's going to be that one, and possibly Near. I don't like Near as much as I like Solana, but I could definitely see that. But we'll have to see. Maybe they just stop with Ethereum, and that's just it. It's totally possible. But the possibility, the imagination, the fluff of that possibly happening is really interesting. It's really, really, really intriguing, right? Because a lot of times, right? Like the way companies are valued today, it's not about what they're worth today. It's about what's the possibility of tomorrow. This is the fucking meme right here. Is that like you have a company, our total addressable market is $5 trillion, and if we only get 5%, 10% of that 1% of the market, that makes us a fucking $30 billion company when your company's maybe worth $10 million. And then boom, then people are like, holy fuck, you're right, it could be worth $30 billion, so I should probably throw a couple hundred million in this thing so I can make a ton of money. And then that's what happens. So people bet on the what if, the promise of it, right? You're over here hanging around with a hoochie, you think the whole world of her and stuff, then you actually get to meet her and you're like, oh my god, this is horrible, right? Let's see. All right. And if you want your super chats read, super chat away. I will read all super chats, as stupid as they are, unless it's incredibly stupid. I mean, it has to be incredible. I mean, like, whew, I'm drinking purple tonight. You want your question read? You know what to do. Now, I do like the way things are going, right? I do believe Ethereum is at least going to hit about $12,000 to $14,000. Now, if the run lasts as long as I think it can run, if it can run till 2025, then we'll hit extremely high prices. I mean, the narrative, like I'm telling you right now, the narrative is going to be on this. It's going to be a $20,000, like Ethereum's going to hit $20,000 like Bitcoin did in 2017. Interesting.